Black people, get your affairs in order. Yes, a lot of us are holding other marginalized communities accountable for how they voted and for how they treat Black people in the Black community. While you're holding others accountable, make sure that your affairs are in order.
What's up, my good people? Hello, and how are you? I hope you're doing good wherever you're watching me from, and welcome back to the channel. As usual, I'm happy to see you. I hope you're happy to see me, and it is another wonderful time to share knowledge and to share information again. In case you bumped this channel for your first time, welcome as well to this channel. We love you, and I'm sure you will love us back. Subscribe to the channel to be part of this family. Now, in today's video, what are we going to talk about? So I want us to give me a chance to address my African American brothers and African immigrants in the United States and just Black people in the United States. Those are the people I want us to talk to today, or to talk about today in this video. And I always say, I think anything that concerns this category of Black people indirectly or directly or technically concerns or affects all other Black people. Without wasting so much of your time, I want to share a video here by this African American sister. Let's listen to her, get what she has to say, and let's say something right at the end. So, right here is the video.
Black people, well, anybody can use the information coming from this video. Watch this.
A travel warning: if you're traveling in 2025 out of the US, you need to know 3 huge changes that are changing everything. It's a first, or you won't be able to go anywhere. Number 1, if you're trying to fly domestically in the US, your old driver's license isn't going to work after May 7th, 2025. You're going to need a real ID. You apply at your local DMV and get it done now before they get slammed. Number 2, if you're planning to travel from the US to the UK, which is Northern Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland, you're going to need for the first time a travel waiver. And that means you're going to have to apply. It's $13. It lasts for 2 years. But even if you're going for a day, you need to have the waiver. And there is another group of European countries, 30 of them, like France, Germany, Italy. They're requiring their own waiver. It's $7. It lasts 3 years. These are attached to your passport. Make sure your passport doesn't expire, because when your passport expires, these waivers expires and you have to start over.
Black people, get your affairs in order. Yes, a lot of us are holding other marginalized communities accountable for how they voted and for how they treat Black people in the Black community. While you're holding others accountable, make sure that your affairs are in order. Make sure that you have a certified copy of your birth certificate. If you have your original birth certificate, I know we don't like to walk around with our original documents. Make a copy of that birth certificate. Go to a notary public and have her certify/notarize that copy of your birth certificate. That makes that copy a certified copy of your birth certificate. When she's notarizing that copy, make sure she includes a statement that says, I'm a notary. And on all the documents, especially if they're copies of original documents, I include a statement that says, I, Tabitha, Notary Public, certify that this is a copy of the original document that is in the possession of whoever the birth certificate belongs to. If you are not carrying around your original Social Security card, do the same for your Social Security card. Make a copy of it, take it to a notary, and have her certify that copy, notarize it. If you have a passport, you can use your passport in place of that birth certificate. Reason being, in order to get that passport, you have to provide a copy, a certified copy of your birth certificate. So you can use your passport in place of a birth certificate. If you are using a copy of your passport, have that copy certified. I've talked about this in a few other videos since the election, and I've had people getting down in my comments telling me that I'm overreacting. I'm not overreacting. I'm preparing Black people. Last year, I did a video talking about laws that were passed in Texas, in Georgia, and in Florida. That law was basically, the essence of that law is that police officers in those states can legally stop you under suspicion that you are an illegal immigrant. And in that instance, you want to make sure that you have proof that you are a citizen. So it is my suggestion, just like you carry your driver's license with you everywhere you go, you want to carry proof of citizenship now everywhere you go. And your proof of citizenship is a passport or birth certificate. That driver's license is not proof of citizenship. It is a valid government ID, a valid government picture ID, but it is not proof of citizenship. In her video, she talked about needing a real ID. Everybody nationwide, adults, will need to have a real ID. And the deadline is May 7th, I think she said. I didn't know what a real ID was, so I had to go out and look it up. So to get more information on a real ID, I suggest you go over to Google, put in your state and the term real ID, and your state's website for real ID requirements should come up. This is the Georgia Department of Driver Services, and they have information on what a real ID is and how to obtain it. Basically, a real ID is a driver's license that has a black star or gold star, and it's in one of the corners of the driver's license, right? And it's for those of you in Georgia, it just confirms that this is a real ID, and it has all of these new mechanisms on the ID, barcodes, holographs and things like that. So yeah, I looked at mine and it has a gold star up in one of the corners. So make sure that your driver's license is considered a real ID. Listen, Black people, the government has been attacking us for decades, for centuries, for 400 years. And the way we have been able to maneuver and make it through all of these years is because of how we share and spread information. Okay? So currently, the Latino community is going through it. I just learned that Donald Trump does plan to reinstitute the Muslim ban, and there's additional information now included with that Muslim ban that's going to attack and harm the Arab community, the Muslim community here in the United States, right? And once they're all done, we're going to be watching to see what they're going to do with the 14th Amendment, which comes after us. So make sure while all of this is going on that you have your papers. Yes, we are back in that time period. Make sure you have your papers, especially if you are in the state of Texas, Florida, in Georgia because of that law that they put in about a year ago, giving permission to police officers to be able to stop you under suspicion that you are an illegal immigrant. Share this video so the word gets out.
All right, so that is the video. I don't know what you have picked from that sister, what you might have learned from what she's saying. But, well, first of all, I'm sure you have come across a ton of videos on the internet of black people in America bashing the Latinos or the Latino community for having elected Donald Trump in the recent elections in huge numbers. I mean, saying they have become a letdown, and now, but well. I don't know how bad it's getting in the United States currently, and I've been asking myself this question. The United States of America hasn't been the best place for black people over the years, over the decades and the centuries that have been. But the question is, going into the future, is it getting better or is it getting worse for black people? I don't know. That is a question for you to answer. So the point of this video exactly is what really caught my attention, what I'm so perturbed with, is the fact that now there is going to be a requirement for you to be carrying your identity documents all over and everywhere, because at any given moment the police could stop you to ask you if you are a citizen of that country, of the United States. Well, don't get me wrong, I have no problem with the people of the United States saying we want to clean up our country, we don't want undocumented people roaming around, causing havoc, being hardly traceable. Even for basic necessities and basic administrational functions, there need to be a good record of people, a good trace of everyone. But the point is, when you say that, trying to make it a police country, that people would be stopped. Imagine going about your business and maybe your grandparents, great-grandparents, your own parents, and yourself have been born on that land. Imagine going about your business and then all of a sudden cops pull you over or stop you, and now you have to start proving that yes indeed, even after those generations having lived and died in America, you are an American citizen. I think that would be really traumatizing, to be honest. And that would be fair to me. That would be fair, however much of a burden it is that I have to keep thinking and carrying those my identity documents all over with me. But that would be fair, slightly fair, if it does cut across everybody. I want to believe that it would cut across everyone, every citizen of the United States, regardless of the color of their skin. But I highly doubt if you have read a book by George Orwell. It's called The Animal Farm, where it says that all animals, at some point, some animals tell others, after overthrowing the man and chasing him out of the farm, that all animals are the same. But then technically you get to realize that they're not the same, because other animals are enjoying more privileges than the rest, but they come and sell the narrative that we're all the same. That is a likelihood in this situation. And we are in a very politically volatile world today. Anything can happen. Anything however absurd you might think it is, can happen, especially with this political class. Sometimes these politicians can just pull a move that leaves you, thinking, have they lost touch with humanity? Are they humans? They can just touch anything regardless. And this good lady says she has had speculations or rumors, and rumors are always close relatives of the truth, that there could be a ban on the Muslim community. And what this means is, if there could be a ban on this community, what guarantee do you have belonging to another certain community that you're safe from what they're doing to other people? You could be next in line. In Swahili, we often have a say that goes, if you see your friends your friend having a forceful haircut, the best thing you want to do is to prepare your own hair, because you could be you're most likely going to be the next to have a forceful haircut. So she has said clearly what the intention of her sentiments are, is to prepare Black people. And it's better safe than sorry when such things come across. And I'm saying we live in a very volatile political world. And we have political opinions, we have political liberty, we have the so-called political freedom. I'm not even going to be surprised if other people don't see the sense in this video. It is okay, because it's a liberal world. Anybody, even Black people, can choose not to agree with what she's saying or what I am saying, but maybe someone else will see the point. Even 14th Amendment, I'm sure y'all know something about the 14th Amendment as a Black person in the United States, that gives you your right to citizenship through at least birth and naturalization. They could touch that. You're not very safe from that. So it's better to prepare. It's better to get yourself a bag or purse to be carrying your documents around, because it looks like that is what. Now, see, the truth is, the United States has never been the best place for Black people. And it has been a place to oppress, to trod on the rights, basic rights of Black people. When we see things, such things like this being speculated and introduced, they ring a certain bell, or they ring an alarm, because the animals have never been treated the same, in as much as on paper they talk about how the law is giving equality and equity and and justice. We often say, once bitten, twice shy, or a person that has been bitten by a snake will be scared of a rope when they see it on the ground, because they think it is a snake. So, attempting to introduce such allegations that eventually become the truth are ways to which they get to mess up with the so-called your rights, if you have any, in fact. And it got me thinking. Sometime a friend of mine used to ask me, long before this YouTube channel came to live, used to ask me a question. And he used to ask me, do you think African Americans or Black people in America should try to get back home to the motherland of Africa? And at some point, I used to really say, no, they can just stay in America. And well, later I came to change, and I really, really saw the need, irrefutably, a strong need for Black people in America. Those that are willing, of course, to try and, just come back to the motherland, or at least just visit the motherland and have a feeling of what it is in the motherland. Now, both sides of my story are right. Saying they could stay and they should come, I could justify in different ways. So initially, and get the truth here, get my point here. It is about opinions. We are an opinionated people. Now, my perspective back in the days, I used to think, why don't they stay? Because why don't they stay to fight for their space on that American soil? Because even those white people that are displacing them, they're nothing but visitors on that land. We barely have natives of that American continent around today. So those people that are denying you space are also immigrants. So what about the entitlement of them feeling like they belong so much to that place than Black people? That used to be my argument. But really later I came to, to just see through the eyes of Black people in America, how much they go through. And I thought, it's so not human. It's not living life. It's not worth it to spend the whole of that life, fighting. Life is not just about fighting. Sometimes it is okay to fight for your rights, your space, but you won't spend your whole life fighting. And I said, Africa is the only place where Black people are totally, and I mean totally, accepted, not tolerated, accepted. One thing is talking about a cop pulling you over in the middle of the highway to check if you're an American citizen, or in the middle of your workday. Take, for example, the case as it is today with drugs. We know 100% that a policeman is likely to stop a Black person, suspect them of being a drug dealer or carrying drugs in your car, in your pocket, many more times than the same police would do to a white person. And while studies have shown it clear that white people are likely to be found with drugs even than Black people, but still Black people are the one that always get suspected. Not just suspected, in fact, incriminated, sometimes on false evidence or non-existing evidence of being drug dealers, of being in possession of drugs, so on and so forth. Are you sure? Is there a guarantee that this isn't going to be a law again that is going to be applied selectively, where all Black people would now be suspected of maybe not being American? Because in fact, from the very beginning, even when we talk about the 14th Amendment, why is it even existing? Because they never wanted you as a Black person to exist on that land. Talking about the Latinos, I don't want to talk about the Latinos that much in this video, but of course Black people have accused the Latinos of letting them down and massively elected Donald Trump. I don't want to talk about Trump being a better or worse option than anyone else, because politicians come and go, regimes come and they leave. But how bad is the situation in America? Because I have literally seen people crying over this. And when I say crying, literally, this is what I mean.
My immigrant mother just called me on the phone, innocently asking me if she should start carrying her passport in case they start doing mass deportations to prove that she's a citizen. That's so sad.
Okay, my question to you is it getting better or is it getting worse? Is there light at the end of the tunnel, or there's no end to the tunnel in the first place? I don't know what you think about this and everything we've been talking about so far in this video. If you have your opinions, in agreement or differing, please share with me in the comments, and like this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done that. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.